second half of the NFL season is here, and those young QBs are putting on a show. But who's the best team? This is when we separate the pretenders from the contenders. And you can follow that story every Sunday with the NFL on CBS.
Welcome back to Fourth and Forever. Special guest today. I'm excited about him because not only is he one of the best tight ends in football, incredible backstory of his upbringing in the D.C. area, also a Super Bowl champion, which I didn't realize when we were teammates back, formerly the Redskins. We were teammates, now the Washington football team. We'll get into that, the whole name debacle, but without further ado, Vernon Davis, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Mark? How are you?
I'm doing awesome, man. I'm so excited to have you on the show. I was only in Washington for such a short time. I didn't get to know all this about you, and now we did a deep dive on you. Now I got everything. I got all the dirt. I got everything. So you grew up in Washington. I want the viewers and listeners to hear about your upbringing because you're the oldest of 7 siblings and you're raised primarily by your grandmother. And am I pronouncing it right? Adeline or Adeline? Adeline?
Adeline.
Adeline. And right. Is she still with us?
Yeah, she is. She's still with us.
Okay, so talk about her and her influence on you and growing up in a household with 6 other kids.
Yeah, it was tough, man, especially being the oldest. My grandmother always made sure that we had everything we needed. I had to worry about my brothers stealing my socks and taking my T-shirts. So that was one of the highlights of my life, my time growing up in the house. But my grandmother, she did everything for us, washed our clothes, and like I said before, made sure we had everything. And she was always there for us. She was our rock. She's just like a wonderful woman. I mean, I can think of so many great things to say about her, and she deserves it because of everything that she's been able to do for me and my siblings, and just her, selfless attitude throughout life in general.
Yeah, and that's obviously worn off on you. I've seen it personally with your foundation and everything. We'll get into all that too. I read in an article about you guys picking up some side jobs together to help provide for the family. Can you tell us about that? Is that accurate? Did I read that correctly about you guys cleaning some houses, and what was that like?
Yeah, when we were growing up, my grandmother, her job was, she was a maid pretty much, and she cleaned houses, and the families that she cleaned houses for, they pretty much took her in. They gave her, they were like family. They became our family, and every time they would go out of town, we would go to their house, and she would babysit their kids, and we just cultivated a wonderful relationship with everyone that she worked with. That tells you a lot about her character, her personality, and everything she stands for. It was amazing just growing up with her always there, and just the love she gave everyone and the love she received back from them.
That's wonderful. I love that story. So we looked up, growing up in Petworth, this ain't like, the nicest neighborhood around. It's the greater DC area, but you run into a little trouble as a youngster. I mean, we're talking 6th grade. So you're 10, 11, 12 years old-ish. You get arrested, maybe once or twice. You have a little rap sheet going, and then some things happen, whether it was football or some other influences to get you on the right path. What can you tell us about that experience with the police, what you felt during that time, and if there was that one moment where you kind of had that talk with yourself, maybe in the mirror or maybe with Miss Adeline, something about like, hey, man, I got to get things right. I got to get on the right track. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, that goes back to being a leader and making the correct choices in life. And when I was a kid, that was one area that I had to grow in. I didn't always make the best choices, but luckily I had someone like my grandmother in my corner to really inspire me to get better in that aspect. And I say that because that last time that I got in trouble, she had a big talk with me, and she pretty much she just changed my perspective on everything. I started to step away from my friends. I started to focus more on my schoolwork and sports. And I became a better person, better athlete, and things started to take off for me. But like I said, it just goes back to just making the wrong decisions when it comes to everything. And that's what I did. And I felt like I've gotten better, and I give a lot of that to my grandmother for inspiring me and encouraging me to grow in that area.
That's so important. I mean, clearly you had the talent and athleticism and the energy and the drive, and then you just decide to channel it in the right direction, and look what happens for you. Then you get to the University of Maryland. Reflect on the differences between Petworth and then College Park, because you've spoken to this a little bit about how you matured in college and how it shaped you on and off the field, being a Terrapin from Maryland.
Yeah, in college, you're pretty much a young man. You're grown. You don't have your family. You don't have anyone there to make decisions, help you make decisions. You have to do those on your own. And if you want to be successful, you want to make sure that you're doing the right things at all times. And that's one thing I've always been good at. Since leaving home, I made sure that I made the correct decisions in life, because I wanted to be a professional athlete. I wanted to do well in school. I wanted to go on and make a living and help my family. So everything started to make sense for me. I took it really serious, and I wanted to be an inspiration for those who were following me. So I made sure that I stayed on the right track.
Yeah, that's really inspiring too, because a lot of these guys understand, guys coming up in the league, they have a similar background to you, and they realize, hey man, this talent that I have, if I work at this, I got a shot. And this, if I get that shot, I need to maximize it, right? I'm going to get one opportunity to do this, and it's going to take some sacrifice. It sounds like you figured that out at a young age, which was huge for you. And then look how your career blossomed. Mini sidebar here. I wanted to ask you about the current state of Maryland and their head coach, Mike Locksley, and Tungabailoa. Looks like they're kind of trending in the right direction the last couple of weeks. What do you think about your Terps?
Yeah, I think they're doing a great job. And, you have to respect Mike Locksley. I mean, he has a track record of bringing in talent. He's shown that he can get things done. He recruited me when I was in high school over at Dunbar Senior High School, and he was one of the biggest reasons that I decided to commit to the University of Maryland. But unfortunately, as soon as I committed, he ended up leaving and going with Ron Zook to the University of Florida.
Right.
But it was okay, because I grew up a Terps fan, and being able to play in my backyard, knowing that I grew up a couple miles down the road from the stadium, it was like a dream come true for me. So, I applaud Mike Locksley on everything that he's doing. I wish him the best as he continues to move along.
And what about Tua's younger brother?
Yeah, that's awesome. It's good to see. It's good to see when you have a family of athletes and everyone's doing well. And like I said before, it's all about inspiring the next generation, right? And that's what we have here. I mean, he's doing a phenomenal job for the Terps, and man, it's great to see them have some success, because it hasn't always been like that.
No doubt. No doubt. Well, when you were in school, unanimous All-American, 6th overall pick by the 49ers. Talk about that period in your life and how being a top NFL draft pick changed your, maybe perspective on things or your outlook on life, and what it did for your family.
Yeah, I think just knowing that you've put so much work in over the years, and being able to enjoy the fruits of your labor is phenomenal. I mean, I remember the moment I got drafted at Radio City Music Hall. I was right there, sitting there with my family, waiting for the call. I got a call from North Turner. He was from the San Francisco 49ers. Yep. And they picked me up. And from that moment, I saw my whole life, the past flash before me. And it just felt so great. I mean, tears of joy, and just thinking about everything that I've been through with my family, and all the hard work and dedication that I put in to get to that point was truly amazing. My life changed for the good. My family, I was able to help my family and just show them that anything's possible.
And a warm, strong embrace from Adeline, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, she was extremely happy.
I bet she was so proud of you. So this is a perfect segue, because you talked about putting in the work, and with our partnership with East Bay, this segment is really you reflecting on one thing that you did from your youth age playing football that paid off for you later in your career. What did you do to put in work specifically? Is it a quiet moment of meditation or prayer, or specific drills that you might have done? Anything that was a part of your routine, essentially, that helped you put in the work and made you successful throughout your career?
I think the biggest thing the biggest takeaway I have with, as far as my career goes, is just looking back and looking at where I am now with football and everything else. It's all about going above and beyond. And I say that meaning it's not just about, if you have 5 hours to work. It's not just about those 5 hours. It's what do you do after those 5 hours are up? Are you going home and continuing to work on your craft? What are you doing? And that's one of the things that I've always taken with me. I've always put in the extra work, and I've been consistent with it. And I tell a lot of the young guys that too. It's like, if you're going to do it, make sure you're going to be consistent at it. Like, don't just do it today and then take off 3 days, the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. No, do it and live it. Let it be a part of your life so that it can manifest.
It's time to cash in 2020 with MyBookie. They've got deposit matches, free bets, and huge cash prizes for you to take advantage of all season long. NFL action, check. College football, check. They got a mobile-friendly website and top-of-the-line customer service, which makes MyBookie a one-stop shop for all your betting needs. MyBookie offers action on anything you need. They got championship futures. They got NFL in-game live betting, making sure you're covered every step of the way. Sign up at MyBookie today, and when you do, use the promo code Sanchez, Sanchez, to claim a halfway match on your deposit. So essentially it works like this. Put in $200, they'll spot you a free $100 for you to play with. I'm no math major, but that sounds pretty good. The promo code is a bonus designed to give you a little help and a head start on your winning season. That's promo code Sanchez. Get on MyBookie right now and claim your $100 deposit. All the major sports and more await you, even stacked UFC cards. So don't wait. Sign up today and begin your winning season exclusively at MyBookie. You get to the NFL, you're with the 49ers. Your majority of your career is in San Francisco. The first few years, the team struggles, big-time struggles, losing seasons. And then in 2011, this guy, Jim Harbaugh, shows up, and he's brought in as the new head coach. You guys turn things around. 3 straight NFC championship games, a Super Bowl appearance. Talk to me about Jim Harbaugh, his influence on Alex Smith, your quarterback, and you and the team.
His charisma was everything. He had a huge impact on every guy on that roster. I mean, we wanted to play for him. We wanted to go out and just get it done for him because he respected us. We respected him, and he wanted to see us win. He was really good at getting guys on his side. It was something about Jim that made him really, really special. I remember one day I came out for practice, and I see a guy out there in full uniform going with the twos, right? And it's Jim Harbaugh. He's suited up, man. He's suited up.
Come on.
He took off the khakis and he put on the uniform. I was like, oh man, this guy's phenomenal, man. I've never seen anything like it. And he was doing really well too. Yeah, he's a special individual. He's all about family. He really incorporated our families in practices and games, and he was really good about that. He made sure that he put the family first. I don't have anything but great things to say about Jim. He was awesome.
Yeah. He sounds like one of those coaches who thinks outside the box. He's not afraid to jump in the mix with the players. Yeah. That's everything you hear about him. He's such a competitor. What do you think is going on at Michigan? I mean, he's having some serious struggles there. This is another sidebar to talk about some college stuff, but he hasn't won a game as an underdog. He's struggling against Ohio State. You know, it feels like these last few years, like they're right there. They need a quarterback. Something goes wrong either on defense or special teams, and it like changes the course of their season. I remember the punt block a couple years ago. It always seems like there's 1 or 2 plays in a season that kind of derail things and put them towards the bottom of the Big Ten. And so it's been frustrating there for Michigan fans. What do you attribute his struggles there at Michigan to?
You know, of course, everyone always wants to point to the coach, the head coach, for anything that happens, right? When it comes to failures and disappointments. But collectively, it takes a group. It takes the team together. So maybe there's been moments in there where it might have gotten away from Jim, right? But Jim's one of those guys that just because something gets away from him, you need to stick with him because he's going to pull it through. He's going to prevail, and he's going to make sure that he get that team right back on track. So yeah, 3 years of disappointments, and but I think it is, you know, he's going to come back and he's going to really prove everyone wrong. I strongly believe that he's going to pull through and everything's going to work out in their favor. It's just a matter of time.
Could you see him going to the NFL? Because fans are so impatient, right? Like at Michigan, you know, Ohio State looks so good. Maybe it's better for both sides to move on. Maybe not. Who knows? We'll see. But if you could see him go to the NFL, play this scenario out. Maybe he goes to the Jets. I know it's a tough media market, but they potentially get Trevor Lawrence or at least have Sam Darnold. They got a bunch of draft picks and those press conferences with him. Like, he is not afraid to tell a reporter, like, what's up. So I would enjoy that with his personality. What do you think about that?
I think it would be great. I think he'd be a great fit. Why not?
Good. See, I was right.
Yeah,
Thank you, Vern.
No, he would be awesome, though. He would be awesome anywhere. He's just he can work for any organization. Everyone will love him. And you remember when I was in San Francisco, we went to the Super Bowl. We didn't win it, but we were really, really close. I think another good 8 years with Harbaugh, we would have won it.
What about that Super Bowl do you remember most? I remember watching on TV. I remember the power going out, the lights going out. I remember Crabtree and Jimmy Smith. I mean, if that's not a penalty, I mean, Jimmy Smith, I know my best friend went to Colorado, so I know Jimmy Smith from being knucklehead freshman and going to visit out at Colorado and seeing him in the dorms and us running around being idiots. I respect him as a player. I think he's an awesome player. And, of course, DB's got to hold the whole thing. But, you know, the lights go out and then the Crabtree thing happens. Tell me about your experience in that Super Bowl.
You know, we went into that Super Bowl with the winning attitude. We had a winning spirit. Everyone was, you know, this was like the moment we've been waiting for. I mean, there's no other reason to play the game than making it to the Super Bowl. That's why we play. But we get in the game, then, you know, we start to struggle. I mean, the first snap of the game, I think it was either Crabtree or myself who went offside. I can't remember. But that happened, and then, you know, they started winning. The lights went out. We came back out, and we were moving. We knew we had that game. We were right there. A lot of people might say Kaepernick should have threw it to Frank Gore. He was wide open, but instead he go for Crabtree. It didn't work in our favor. It was tough. Every time I think about that game, man,
Oh, I'm sorry for bringing it up. Damn, old wounds.
It's okay. It's okay.
What about you played with Colin Kaepernick? Yes or no? Does he play in the NFL again?
I'm one of those guys. I like to keep hope alive. And,
yeah.
You know, I always want to see everyone do well, especially a guy like Colin Kaepernick, who's my quarterback, who I had some great years with. I would love to see him get back in the NFL. But the way it's going, it don't seem like he's going to get a shot.
I know.
I mean, that's what it seems like. But, I mean, we got to keep rooting for him. We got to keep on, just keep hope alive and just hope for the best.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel like of all years, this would be the year to put him kind of on that COVID reserve and have him there for you just in case something crazy happens. Who's got a ton of experience. Sure, he's been out of football a while, but at least, you know, you're picking him up instead of somebody who's never played a down, right? Somebody who's been in a Super Bowl. He has that big game experience, and, you know, at least it's there. But I would have thought it would happen already, but we'll see what happens in the future. In the middle of your 10th season with the 49ers, you get traded mid-season to the Denver Broncos. What was that transition like? And you get traded to a Super Bowl winning team this time, so you've now been in 2 Super Bowls, won one. What was your time like in Denver?
Well, I'm going to tell you, initially when I got that call, GM said, hey, I want you to meet me in my office. It was Trent Balk at the time. So I get up. I meet him in the office, and as soon as I walk in, I knew something was strange, really strange. I was like, I'm about to get traded probably. So I sit down, and next thing you know, I'm headed to Denver. I didn't see it coming, but like I said, I'm always optimistic about everything. Ended up winning the Super Bowl 50, which was another highlight in my life. It was something I will never trade for anything. It was a great moment, great experience. Cultivating relationship with Peyton Manning and DeMarcus Ware, Von Miller, all those guys. It was phenomenal. So it ended up working in my favor, which was truly amazing.
Yeah, give me your favorite Peyton Manning story. I know everybody's got a good one.
Yeah, Peyton is quite the guy. I remember when I walked in, he's like, he texts me, and then he called me. He's like, Vern, come see me when you get in here, Vern. Come see me. So I go to the weight room. He's lifting, and it's like, hey, Peyton. He's like, you ready to go? It was awesome. Then after practice, you would always see Peyton with these bags. I mean, he would have like 20 bags of ice all over his body. I never seen anything like it. I'm like, dude, why don't you just get in the cold tub? There's a cold tub right here. Just get in the cold tub.
Yeah.
And he was phenomenal, man. And then the way he took over meetings, he was just like you, Sanchez. He would take over meetings, and you would think he's the offensive coordinator. He was so sharp. He knew everything. And then when we get on the field, like you wouldn't even know he's in the locker room. He always minimizes himself. You wouldn't know he's in there. He's just he's great about it. You know, he's giving the young guys the floor to, you know, just be themselves. And then when you get outside, he's the general. He's the jump. Back up a little bit, DT. DT, back up a little bit. Right there.
That's a good impression. That's a good one. I like that.
Omaha!
That's perfect. That's perfect. That's
Peyton
great.
the man. Hey, he's the man. He's man. Hey man, he's awesome, man. He's like the best person I've met in my life. He's phenomenal.
That's awesome. What about then you get to go play in your hometown back in DC for, at the time, the Redskins, now the Washington football team. First impressions, I mean, we had known each other through, working at Super Bowl stuff, doing appearances and stuff, but then I came in to what was the craziest year, or really like 6 weeks of my life. So I get there, and right before Alex goes down with a gruesome injury, then the team is still like leading the division at the midway point of the season or just after that. I get there and I'm like, whoa. I see, once you're inside the building, everything's exposed. You see a lot of, at least I did. I saw a lot of issues. I'm like, man, how are they keeping this thing together and winning football games? This is crazy. So what was your experience like that year, and then your first impression of me as a teammate?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, this is craziest year ever. After playing 14 years in the NFL, I feel like I've seen just about everything. That was another moment, another experience in my life where I had another opportunity to see something that was, I don't know, different. Just different. Every organization is different, and it's pretty cool to see that along your journey. You see this organization, that organization. But let me tell you, it was the most amazing experience, another amazing experience I've had in my life. Being able to come back home, play in front of family and friends, play with an organization that I grew up rooting for, and just enjoying it, even through its ups and downs, and it's just enjoying it all. And then, having you come in, I grew up, I rooted for you, I watched you, and I know about your success and, your high level of play, and being able to play with you, even though it wasn't that long, it was still a great journey for me, a great opportunity to play with a great player. I mean, you're all-time great. Everyone will always remember you, and I'll remember my experiences with you.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. But you think about, look at that locker room. AP was in there, Adrian Peterson, you, Alex Smith at one point, Trent Williams. These are some of the best players to ever play, and especially that year, some of the best players. It was crazy that there wasn't more success on that team. Gosh, I remember we played on Thanksgiving, right? We played against the Cowboys. We're going to Dallas for the game. I had just gotten there, I'm 6 days in, and trying to learn the playbook. It was the wordiest offense of all time with my man Jay Gruden. And how about, I just remember the night before the game, right? You go through the first 15 play calls, and Jay was so negative. I never heard a coach install plays this negatively, but I just remember him saying, yeah, play 3, we'll take the shot. We got a deep post, we got the spear route going, we got the shallow. Hey, Colt, now just listen. Blow the top off the defense with the post. If it's not there, we hit him with the deep shot, hit him right down the field, 18 to 22 plus yard gain. Or if not, just dump it down to AP, or who knows? Maybe we miss a block up front. Maybe Colt gets sacked, fumble. It goes the other way. We all get fired. We lose the game. Who knows? Who knows how it's going to go, right? That's why we play the game. He said something like that, and I'm writing down, I'm taking notes, trying to remember the plays and all this kind of stuff. And then he goes into that negative rant of sack, fumble, return for a touchdown. We all get fired. I was like, wait, what? What just happened?
Oh.
Dude, the other time he asked, he's like, all right, man, sometimes we just, we let some of the guys talk to the team. Trent Williams, where you at? Trent, you want to say anything? Trent just goes, nah. I was like, usually you have that planned out, right? With the player, hey, I'm going to call you out to talk to the team. Here's kind of the themes we're going for. Or you trust the player enough to just be like, hey, shoot from the hip, whatever you got. You're a leader on the team. Go for it. I think he just kind of called him open mic night and just was like, hey, you want to do it? And Trent just said, nah. Dude, what's one of your favorite Jay Gruden stories?
Oh, I remember Jay told me, he was like, Vernon, how about we just throw it to you on the corner route? Oh, nah, you're probably going to drop it. Don't worry about it.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
I said, thanks a lot, Coach. Jay's a different guy. But like I said, I definitely enjoyed my time with Jay, and those moments will never come back around again. So you got to cherish them, even when they're at the low.
This name issue with the team. What did you think about it? Obviously, it made big news in the offseason and leading up to the season, and now they're the Washington football team. What do you think they end up changing the name to, and how do you think they're handling that?
Well, at the end of the day, it's all about the people, all about the fans, and what they want. And there's been there's been a lot of issues with the name, that name, and for them to be able to change it, it says a lot to who they are as an organization, and that they care. They want to make it right. They want to make a difference. And as far as the name, I have no idea what they're going to come up with, but I hope it's something that that they don't have to change down the road. So
no doubt.
Hopefully it's a good one.
This was tough for me because the kid's in a really tough spot. Dwayne Haskins, he gets drafted there, and then when you lose your GM and the head coach that drafted you, I mean, there's no loyalty left, right? And so it just seemed like such a small sample size to move on from him. But if you're Ron Rivera, if you're this new regime, you have no allegiance to this kid. So you're just doing whatever's best for the team. And if you think there's a better option and Dwayne Haskins is not the option, then you move forward. But
yeah,
I just feel like he has so much talent, and he's got to land somewhere, right? He's got to be one of these guys maybe at the end of the season that goes somewhere. What's your take on Dwayne Haskins?
Oh, yeah, he has to land somewhere. If I'm a head coach, you better believe I'm taking him. If Dwayne Haskins is out there, I'm taking him. I'm taking him all day. I mean, after seeing this kid, he has the ability to get the ball downfield, A to B, just like that. I mean, he's very accurate. He can move around in the pocket. He's not afraid to keep his eyes downfield when he's sitting in the pocket. I mean, he's fearless. I think we have to really take in consideration that this kid hasn't really played much college football, right? So you know what you're getting right away. This is going to be a kid. Yeah, he had a spectacular career in college, but once he gets here, we're going to have to really groom this guy, right?
Yep.
First, we're going to have to start here. We know he has the ability, but we got to keep him contained here, right? That's what it's all about for Dwayne Haskins, right? Can he continue? Can he take this thing that seems to be negative and turn it into positive? Because really, it's not negative. It's a positive for Dwayne Haskins because it's only going to allow him to grow if he continues to stay positive about the overall situation. Understand that this is only a test for him. And the sky's the limit for the young man because he's so talented. He's super talented. I mean, he has one of the most talented arms I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'd love to see him get somewhere with a solid veteran, maybe like a transitional veteran player, whether it's a Fitzpatrick or, somebody like McCown was later in his career, somebody like that can really help bring him along. And then the other thing, too, for a quarterback to be successful, and this, playing with different quarterbacks, everything's got to be built around the quarterback. You saw the transformation of Alex Smith when Harbaugh got there, and he was a quarterback guy and figured it out for him, made it work for him, made the game make sense for him in a way, and put him in situations to be successful. So I hope that happens with Dwayne Haskins. Then on the other hand, you see a guy like Kyle Allen get his shot after playing well and being kind of one of Ron Rivera's guys down in Carolina. And then he goes down with an injury. And now your guy Alex Smith is back after whatever it was, 2 years now, 2 seasons out of football. What were your thoughts when you see him, he went off last week. I think he had like 350 plus yards, 390 yards or something like that. So where are your emotions?
Yeah.
Have you spoken to Alex? And what did you think of that game?
Yeah, I've not spoken to Alex. When I heard he was in that game, I said, whoa, I think I stopped breathing for a moment. I still can't believe he's out there playing. I mean, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't be playing right now. Definitely.
Yeah, because you saw it happen, right? I mean, I talked to guys on the team. They said it was disgusting.
Saw it happen. I know everything about the entire situation during his stay in the hospital, what he went through. Like, to know all of that and just processing it while he's out there in that field, I'm just like, just fingers crossed. Hope everything goes well for him. But this guy is like, I don't know, man. We got to make a movie out of this kid. I mean, we got to make a movie out of Alex Smith because what he's doing right now is something that majority of the people in this world would not even think about doing.
Then this was something that I found interesting when we looked up did our deep dive on you. The misconceptions of masculinity that exist, especially when it relates to NFL players, and you have some interesting thoughts on that. I'm curious your take on that and where the state of the NFL is with, this masculinity idea. Is somebody like Dak Prescott, he talked about dealing with the loss of his mom and then his brother. He talked about, speaking to somebody about that and processing those emotions, and a lot of people think if you have to do that, then you're weak, and you're not a man. You got to be a man, you don't show any emotion. You're tough. You just grit your teeth and grind through it. What's your take on all that?
I think real men shed tears. I mean, it's okay to shed tears. I mean, we're human. Like, we've been crying. We started crying since birth, right? And whenever we would be playing outside and, we fall and bruise our knee up, our elbow, we cry and we look for mom, we look for dad. That's just, it's okay to do that. Even as a grown man, it's okay to cry and get those out. Because a lot of times what we do is we bottle all of that emotion up inside of us, and it causes us to do things that we wouldn't normally do, like acting out of character and our decision making, just everything. It has a lot to do with that. So if we can express ourselves in a way where we're not afraid to be in touch with our feminine side, then, hey, I think the sky's the limit for us just as men. And we open up a whole nother platform for the younger generation behind us to know that it's okay to express yourself, be emotional, and cry sometimes. It's all right.
What about, your post-NFL career? You have this amazing career. You appear in a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl, a ton of stories from the locker room, from the bus rides, the plane rides, everything. But then now you enter this new phase of life, right? Football feels like a lifetime. And then you realize, like, man, I'm not even 40 yet. And I got a whole other life to live. I have a whole other identity to create. What's been going on in your life? I know there's some charity stuff going on. I know there's some that you're into art. If you can elaborate on some of those passions that you have and some of those passions you've explored since retirement.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's awesome to see me transition, because I went to school for art studio. So now what I've done is I've taken the painting and I put it into creating content. I sit here in this space and I come up with movie ideas and I write them down. I turn them, I make treatments out of them in shows. Like, I have maybe 15 different shows that I came up with. I have one that actually just got picked up by this big production company. That's pretty cool. It's a real estate show that I created. I have 2 feature films, independent films that I produced and acted in that's coming out in January.
Whoa. What are the names? Give us the names. We got to plug them.
Called Message from Brianna and Red Winter. It's a horror film that I did with a partner of mine.
Okay.
He's actually an ex-football player.
Nice.
Extremely talented writer. I've actually been doing some writing myself lately, but I also have a percentage of a soundstage in Fitzgerald, Georgia. Bruce Willis just shot a movie there, so I'm excited about that. Hopefully he'll come back after Thanksgiving and shoot another one that I'll have a part in. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm just acting, auditioning, writing, and coming up with ideas, man. That's all I do all day.
I love that. Dude, if you need an extra, you need like a dead body, you need like, you need me to throw on a flannel and a wife beater, some long dickies and some Nike Cortezes and be like, one of the essays in the hood. I got you, Holmes. Come on, man. Hook me up.
Holmes. Yeah, okay,
I'll grow out the mustache. Orale, vato. Let's go. Let me know, bro. I could just be, yeah, exactly. I could be one of the goon goblin zombies in the horror film. I could do anything, bro. I got a lot of talents. Maybe you didn't see me on The Masked Singer. I can sing. I'm not a dancer like you. I know you did Dancing with the Stars. Can you talk about Dancing with the Stars and your favorite story or moment from that experience?
You were a masked singer? Were you there?
Yeah. You didn't even notice. Thanks a lot, Vern.
No, I didn't. So you met Dina Katz, huh?
Yes, Dina. Katz? Yeah, she's the casting gal.
Let me tell you something. Oh, she made my experience on Dancing with the Stars the best. I mean, if it wasn't for her, my experience probably wouldn't have been what it was. When they released me after my 5th or 6th week, I can't remember, but I texted her and I was like, look, Dina, I said, you're one of a kind. I mean, you're special.
Awesome.
From handwritten notes that she would give everyone, and from time to time she'll check in. Text messages. I'm like, who is this lady? This lady is unbelievable. But no, Dancing with the Stars was incredible. A great experience. It didn't go totally the way I expected. I thought it was going to be easy it's just going to be a breeze to just go in and just go through the routines. But no, I put in 6 to 7 hours a day, man. 6 days a week. Like,
I believe it.
Literally. It was crazy. It was crazy. Hardest thing I've ever done.
Did you give Von Miller any tips when he did it? Because he was in Denver right around the same time.
You know what? No, I thought he did a great job. You know, Von's always been able to move. He's always had really good rhythm, really good feet. I thought he did a great job, but like I said, unfortunately, it's not easy, man.
It's hard.
Not easy.
Those shows are hard, man. They take a lot of practice, and it's credit to you for getting outside the box, doing something different. That's really cool. Lastly, and we'll let you go, I wanted to ask about your foundation, and it's focused a lot on health, especially for young kids and young adults with the Vernon Davis Foundation. Tell the viewers and listeners what the Vernon Davis Foundation is and how they can get involved.
Yeah, so I started off with Vernon Davis Foundation for the Arts, and I had an art gallery in San Jose, California when I was playing for the 49ers. It's called Gallery 85, where we allow local artists to come in and showcase their work in this gallery. Half the proceeds would go back to them, and the other half would go to the foundation. Cool. And then when I arrived in Washington, I changed my foundation to reach out to more platforms, right? And it's not so much focused on the arts anymore. I want to do things with homeless people. I wanted to create programs in schools for financial literacy and reading programs. So I've been doing so many different things with the foundation. It's not limited to just the arts anymore. It's everything. Arts, homelessness. I mean, you name it. And it's been an honor to be able to partner with a lot of the different organizations and entities that I've been able to invest in. Like, we create programs together. We come up with ideas. I had a chance to feed so many people, kids, and those who were working on the front line. I did that with a partner of mine called Rasa. Rasa out of Washington, D.C. is Indian cuisine, fast casual. If you haven't tried it, whenever you're in D.C., you should check it out.
Check
it's
that
really
out.
Good food, super clean. So yeah, we fed thousands of people during this quarantine. So that was really, really awesome.
So important, and such a reflection on you, your personality, your desire to give back, a community leader, man. You've done it like a real true pro your entire career. We're thrilled to have you on the show. Thank you so much, Vern. Thank you for those awesome stories. The Peyton Manning impersonation was awesome. We got 3 plays with our partnership with East Bay of 3 female athletes and some of their amazing plays. So we're going to watch them for the first time together, and we wanted to get your reaction and my reaction to these plays. These are the Conquer Plays of the Week. Check out freshman Mallory Mooney of Auburn giving the Tigers a win 2-1, scoring a goal in the women's SEC soccer tournament. Okay, look at her take it down the sideline. Oh, reverse pivot. Did you see that reverse pivot by number 3 there?
Nice.
Bam, bam.
Oh.
Ooh, one time. Did you play any soccer growing up, Vern?
I did when I was in grade school.
And?
I was pretty good. I think I was good. I was nice.
I was the best ever. Just ask me.
I don't think I was the best ever. I did okay.
I like it. This is volleyball. Have you played any volleyball at all?
Just for fun. Yeah, I'm pretty good at it.
Because we got a beach volleyball tournament around 4th of July every year. We might need you as the ringer.
Nice. Come on, bring it on, baby.
And in this play, check out Alabama's Aaliyah Wells and Kennedy McElroy as they come up with a huge block in the 4th set of their women's volleyball game to give the Alabama Crimson Tide their first win. Boom! Matumboed that. If we have to play against these girls, Vern, are you going to be able to spike it over them or what?
Man, those girls are tall, man. What's that?
She's like 6'5".
She's 6'5".
Look at this. Are you jumping up this high still, Vern?
Oh, I don't know, man. My knees won't allow me to.
All right, fair enough. And in this next clip, check out Luana Pinheiro in the strawweight fight of a UFC bout as she drops her opponent with a flurry of punches. Fancy footwork, fancy footwork.
Oh! Whoa!
Vern, how long could you last in the ring?
With her?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe 10 seconds?
Luana Pinheiro, wow.
Oh,
you got another
wow.
fight lined up with Vernon Davis and you don't even have to train. You just have to last 10 seconds.
Wow.
Well, we appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for your reactions on those, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Good to see you, Mark.
Like, share, subscribe, at Mark_Sanchez, at Fourth and Forever, Instagram, Twitter, all that. You know where to go. Thanks again for having us, and we'll see you soon.